Hello, everyone. Welcome to Keith and Glory.
We're Not Sorry, your new favorite podcast where two lifelong best friends bring you lighthearted banter on all things pop culture, fashion, music, and everything in between. With 30 years of friendship under our belts, we're diving into hot topics, real life stories, and playful debates. And we want to bring you along for the ride. Welcome to Keith and Glory. We're Not Sorry. We have a very special guest today. The youngest working executive producer, I think maybe ever. His credits include The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Miami, New York, Dallas, Don't Be Tardy, Southern Charm, Southern Hospitality, and of course the new Vanderpump Rules. He owns his own production company, Bishop Peak Productions. And he's my personal king of the chumps on Jeff Lewis Live. Michael Mack, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to join you guys.
Yeah, we're so excited. And as I said before we started, I was listening to you on Jeff Lewis Live today, and I read, or I probably just heard it on TikTok, serious ratings are really hard to come by. But I think like Jeff Lewis has like blown up on Sirius and like taking over for Howard Stern, and his the chumps are becoming like the whack pack. Sorry if that's an insult, because the whack pack's kind of crazy, but like you guys are becoming huge, like Chump Con, and it's so crazy to me.
I have heard it referred to as like the whack pack. So Jeff Lewis's chumps are the whack pack. Yeah. And it's cool. And it's huge. Yeah. I think Jeff has like created this amazing like community of people, a bunch of crazy people that just like love one another and love chaos and like to have fun. So yeah, he's done an amazing job.
And I love how he rates them all. Like, you know, before ChumpCon, only like 30 are getting paid, and he's like the list. People are coming in and out of the list like crazy. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to start with like the hard-hitting questions here, of course, with the new Vanderpump Rules. So you're the executive producer and the showrunner of the show. You're obviously tight with Lisa Vanderpump because Vanderpump Villa, I'll get into as well. But I've been watching lots of like Bravo sneak teases. So far, my favorite is Audrey, who like Lisa said she was like the voluptuous kind of like bubbly kind of life of the party kind of girl.
Yeah. She's awesome. She's like she's super sexy and life of the party, likes to have fun. And she like, I think fans are going to fall in love with her this season because she's also very like honest and just like, she's not afraid to just give her opinion on things, which I think we as viewers love.
Like Stassi goes down in like reality TV history as like the confessional queen. Like her first few seasons of Vanderpump Rules were like, she was pretty chaotic and I mean, just a legend at it. So who would you say would be like the confessional queen of this season?
I think Audrey is really smart in what she has to say and really funny. I think people are going to fall in love with Natalie. Natalie's like super witty and she's very opinionated on what's going on in the group, and she's very tied in with the group. You know, this cast as a whole, actually Shane, who's a friend of the cast, he is so lovable and funny and like authentically himself, and he's really good in confessionals.
And he doesn't work at SUR, right? He's just friends with everybody and dates all the girls there.
Yeah, exactly. He's just friends with the cast and he like kind of pops in and out. I think with this new Vanderpump Rules, I think that obviously people are gonna like hate watch it because they already missed the original cast and they want them back and all those things. But I've seen so many comments that are like, I hate it already, but I can't wait to watch. And I think that's gonna be, you know, the thought process going into it. But this group of young people is like, they are a true group of real friends that all happen to work together, and it really feels like going back to like what the original was about. You know, it was about young kids that are living together or working together, fighting, fucking, dating, navigating life in Los Angeles, trying to like pursue their dreams of whether it's acting or modeling or singing or whatever it may be. So I actually think people are going to like hate watch it at first, and then they're going to fall in love with these people, and they're going to go for a wild ride. because these
And,
kids
and
are
I
crazy.
And I think that's what a lot of reality TV is like, I mean, I love people, but then I love to hate people, right? And I keep watching for those people as well, too.
Yeah,
Do you,
exactly.
do you get involved with the casting like right from day one, or how does all that work?
You know
You
what? I
know,
don't.
okay.
I did get to do a little bit of like the process towards the end, like right before we started filming on this one.
Yeah,
But no, the show they had already been like casting and
kind of.
working with the staff before I even came along.
Does
I
Lisa
think
get involved with the casting on
Lisa's very
Vanderpump?
hands-on with
Is
everything.
she? I'm sure. I could
Yeah,
totally
she
see
really
that.
takes her executive producer role very seriously.
Yeah,
She's hands-on in every show that I worked with her on, whether it's Villa or Vanderpump Rules. She's very hands-on and she knows what's happening and she's very smart. She's truly both an on-screen talent, but also she has the mind of a producer. Great.
I love that.
And then, so how did you link up with Lisa?
I was actually finishing Southern Hospitality season 3. So I was there, and somebody from the production company that produces Vanderpump Villa called me, and they needed somebody to come, a little bit, somebody that has worked with Bravo before, and come do Vanderpump Villa with them. And it was actually kind of last minute. I got called like 5 days before they wanted me to fly out to Italy,
Oh, wow.
and I just happened to be available and jumped at the chance. And from like the first time that Lisa and I met, we really, really connected, and just like we had a lot of the same instincts and a lot of the same like creative ideas, and um, we just we had this fun like banter and this like passion for what we do, and every day we just had so much fun. We just
I
laughed,
bet.
and we would like be watching what's happening on set and just we'd make each other laugh. So we just really connected. And then when it came time for Vanderpump Rules, I had been talking already a little bit to Bravo and to the production company, and then of course I already had that relationship with Lisa, so it kind of just was a perfect fit.
I remember when you guys were what is it called when you promoting the show Vanderpump Villa? You both were on Jeff Lewis Live, and I mean, you guys were hilarious together, and just like you guys were very much yourselves with Lisa there, which was so funny.
Yeah, and we just like I just talked to Lisa the other day. It's like we hadn't talked in like a month because she had been gone and I've been working, and it's just we just have like such a great friendship and dynamic, and like we caught up just like as old times, and we can laugh together and make each other laugh and have fun with each other.
I love it. I'd love to have a glass of rosé and some goat cheese balls with Lisa Vanderpump, right? Like that's the that's the thing.
You know what's crazy? She is always in Sir. So if you
Is
ever
she
want to see her,
really?
and she's always there, and she's always like talking to the fans or whoever's in there, and she'll sit and she'll have a glass of wine with you, and she just will chat you up. So
Oh, that's
if you want
interesting.
to see
I think
her,
she would
go
steer
check out
clear.
her.
Okay,
I
we have so
Yeah.
many. We have so many questions, like outside of just this show.
Well,
Okay.
I live in Canada, and we always have the like Tom Sandoval doing a brunch, somewhere. Tom
Yeah.
Schwartz, Jax, like
Mhm.
they're all doing, and very successful. I've actually seen James Kennedy, and he actually put on an awesome show.
Oh, really? Yeah, I hear he's a great DJ.
So who would you say is the Kristen Doughty of the show? Like the mess?
You know, this is what I'll say. I hate to compare any cast members to
Mhm.
past cast members, and it's mainly because these kids are really not like them. Like I know everyone's always like, "Who's the Stassi?" and "Who's this?" And
Mhm.
they're actually this group of young people is authentically themselves, and I think that's what drew us and Bravo to them is that they are fresh stories and fresh people, and so it's not about recreating like what the magic of the first iteration of Vanderpump Rules, but more so just like finding new, fresh voices. And I actually
Mhm.
think that all of them really hold up to that. I don't think there's not going to be much comparing because they're originals.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
And really, Vanderpump Rules, the old one, was kind of on its way out before Scandival, and it kind of brought the reawakening of it,
Well, I think they are obviously great talent, and people are very interested in their lives and what they're doing. But I think obviously in the format of like Vanderpump Rules, where it's about young people working at a restaurant, they've a little bit aged
Yeah.
out of that, and now they're starting
Yeah.
families and they're moving away and they've got other projects going on. So I think, I don't think anybody wants to see them not on their television screen, but I think they want to see them in a different way.
I agree.
So let's talk housewives for a bit. I know like you're good friends with Cynthia, Jen Fessler. Any other housewives you're good friends with?
I'm friendly with a lot of housewives. I've been lucky enough to work for Bravo for a long time. So I've been my career started at Bravo. So I've done Housewives of New York and Dallas and Miami and Atlanta, and I did a show called Married to Medicine for a
Love
long
Married
time.
to Medicine.
I started my career on that show. I was a PA season 1 and like stayed on that show for like 5 years.
No way.
It doesn't get the love that it should.
It doesn't, and I never really understand why. I feel like they are like some of the most authentic, real group of friends, and like real like
Mart and Caddy and Andy promotes it like crazy, and
yeah, and there's something about them. They're such a great group of women, and I think also what's similar to like what New Jersey has, Married to Medicine has the husbands involved, and I think
Yeah.
anytime you can get the husbands and the families involved, it feels more authentic and it's more fun.
and you've done a lot of working with Kim Zolciak with Don't Be Tardy, and
Yeah, so I worked with Kim on Don't Be Tardy for 3 seasons, and then also 1 season of Housewives when she came back as a friend. So I'd worked with her for a long time.
so as the producer and showrunner, are you like or executive producer and showrunner, are you assigned a housewife for a while and you're kind of the contact in bringing her to production and stuff?
No, not necessarily. Like as a showrunner, our job is to kind of oversee the production as a whole. So from like everything from like pre-production all the way through, usually through like some sort of post-production, and then really managing what's happening from staffing to the creative to how the show looks to how the stories come together. Really managing the whole process, and never are you like assigned like a specific talent anymore. It's like you're really just like I kind of just move through shows and wherever they want to take me, and I think that's why I've done so many different shows on the network and beyond. Like I did when I first met Jeff on Hollywood Houselet for Amazon.
Oh,
Yeah.
no
That's the first time
way.
I worked with him. Yeah,
So what's working with Jeff Lewis like?
he's one of the greatest talents. I know people have this perception of Jeff and like what he is, and obviously who he was on Flipping Out. But when it comes to like a working relationship, Jeff is a super, super hard worker, super successful.
Mhm.
He gets it. He knows what it's like to make a good show, and he's going to show up. He's going to be on time. He's going to deliver. He's such great talent to work with, and we have such a. He's also one of the people that like we can show up to set and we know it's going to be fun and we're
Yeah.
going to laugh and we're going to make a good show, and it's I just love working with him.
What's your favorite
And,
show that you've produced?
Oh my gosh, so many for so many different reasons. Like
Yeah.
that's a question I get a lot, and I get a lot about like who's your favorite housewife, and I really
Yeah.
don't have favorites necessarily, just because I love them for different reasons.
Yeah.
I have some that are not my favorites that I won't
You won't name. Yeah.
Okay.
more of not my favorites than
Yeah.
my favorites. But God, I love like I'm at this point in my career now where like a lot of all the shows that I do are shows that I'm interested in. Rarely
Right.
do you like come up on a time where I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna do this show just because I need work. I've been lucky enough to like where I really kind of can be a little bit more picky about the shows that I take and working with the talent that I want to work with, and so I usually do stuff that I love.
That's awesome.
So a lot of it is like, I mean, Southern Hospitality and Vanderpump Rules, it's kind of like young Bravo, all filmed in kind of a nightclub or restaurant. Like, what's that like?
So fun. I think that like as of recent, like it was season 3 of Southern Hospitality that came on that I first started working with them. one of the network execs had called me, and she was like, I think we have a show that I think you might like. They're really great talent. And she was right. And I think like there's something about young people that they're like super excited and super eager, and they want to make good TV, and they want to be guided. And
Yeah.
so I
And
just
they
like,
grew
I
up-
love the process of that.
And they grew up on reality TV, these kids, right? They probably grew up watching Housewives with their moms, so they kind of know what makes it. I
Yeah.
found like a standout on Southern Hospitality, which is one of my favorites, is Mia. She's
incredible.
hilarious.
She's incredible. She's, for one, she's stunningly beautiful.
She
Mhm.
is.
And then she's hilarious. And then she's like, she says whatever's on her mind. She says whatever the audience is thinking, which we always love those kind of cast members, because it's like you are the voice of the audience and you're not afraid to say it. She's great.
Such a good show. I love like the Legitimaquois representation. That's what I call the LGBTQI.
Love. yeah. That
Um,
show's like so diverse, like in terms of like LGBTQ representation, just in terms of like the diversity of the cast. It's like that's what I love
Yeah.
about that show.
And did you, another question I've written down, did you know Maddie when she wasn't sober?
I did not. No, she's been sober
Oh.
for a long time. Yeah, so I
Yeah, I
only
feel
know
like
her
she would
sober.
have been pretty crazy.
But you know what? What's amazing is that like Maddie, she's a sober person, but she can like she hangs with the best of them. Like she's at the club, she's listening to music, she's having fun. It doesn't hold her back from like having a good time.
I think she's my favorite on that show.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah.
She's so good. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
And then I have a question about that Ocean guy.
Oh,
He was kind of
Oisin.
Ocean. He was on a season, then he kind of wasn't for a bit. What was kind of the deal there?
You know, I think I don't actually know, to be honest. Like he wasn't a full-time cast member on my season, my first season. Sometimes Bravo makes changes, or people move away, or people, you know, just casting changes. But
Right.
he has popped up here and there, and I think it's always fun to have people from the past kind of pop in, and
Yeah.
sometimes they stir stuff up.
Do the most like chaotic people make the best reality cast members, or like are they a little bit hard to handle sometimes? Like I'm thinking like Sonia Morgan kind of.
I think that people often think that like chaos or drama makes for a good reality television character, and that maybe that's a part of it. But I think what actually you're looking for is like depth, and you're looking for like a well-rounded human being that can have all of the things. Those
Mhm.
make the best characters. You don't. That one note can sometimes get old on a cast member if they're just crazy, or they're just
Yeah.
mean, or they're just funny. Like you got to be able to have evolution, and so there's so much that goes into building a perfect cast and then creating a great ensemble. And the most important is like authentic relationships. I'd say that's probably
Yep.
number one.
Mhm.
But then also just like well-rounded, dynamic people.
Yeah. And I always find there's those kind of one seasoners that audiences can kind of read their authenticity kind of right away.
The hardest part now is that reality TV, and especially like Bravo and Real Housewives, that has been around for so long, that so many people are so self-aware, and they are self-editing and self-producing, and this is how I want to come off, and this is like the product that I want to sell, and these things. And really that's like a killer, because it's like you want people that are just going to come on and be authentically themselves, the good, the bad, and the
Yeah.
ugly. We know that everybody has good times, everybody has hard times. That's just real life. And
Yeah.
as you see from season to season, somebody can be loved one season, hated the next, and then loved again the next. And it's like, because that's real life, that's like we all
Mhm.
have bad seasons. So I think the advice that I always give to cast members is just be authentically yourself, be exactly who you are, and don't read the comments.
Right. Don't read the
Yeah.
comments. What's the craziest moment you've had? Like, if you had to boil it down to like one or two crazy moments, what's the kind of, oh my God, moment? This is insane.
I've had so many crazy moments.
I'm sure. Dealing with all
One
this
that I don't
crazy.
talk about often, and I won't give too much detail on, but like I was on the boat in Cartagena when
Oh,
with Real Housewives of New York. I was on that
no.
boat, and that was a probably the craziest moment I've ever had on that show because
Yeah.
No.
we didn't know if we were gonna make it.
Yeah. They kind of played it off as a comedy when it aired on the show. Like they played like the comedic of it, but it wasn't until years later we heard like, no, that was actually hardcore.
Yeah, it was scary. Yeah.
So
So
that
did
was a
you?
pretty iconic season you were on with Housewives of New York. The return of Margarita Lady is what Andy calls her, but Bethany
Mm-hmm.
Frankel, of course.
Yeah, that season was like the downfall of her and Carol's relationship, and
Yes.
yeah, it was a really interesting season.
Is Carol Radziwill like as cool as I think she would be in real life?
So cool, so cool,
Yeah.
so chic, and like
I love her fashion.
there's so many. Yeah, such great fashion, such a New
Mhm.
Yorker, like a true
Yeah.
like New Yorker, like just fashionable and walking down the street and riding bikes down the street, and just like she is true New
Yeah.
Yorker and just so
Yeah.
fun.
Tied into the
And she
Kennedys.
dated George Clooney, but she's going to BravoCon and she's been kind of popping up at all these Bravo things. So people are wondering if she's going to end up back on the screen.
I am too. I'm actually curious to see. I'm going to BravoCon, and that's one of my missions is to find out why Carol's
Okay.
back in the mix
Ah,
and what's
you'll
going
have to
on.
let us know. What about Paige
Yeah,
DeSorbo? I heard rumors she's going to be on the next season of New York. Is that a rumor?
I don't know. Actually, I'm
Okay.
not. I don't have any
Don't have the
attachment to that show
intel?
anymore, so I
No.
don't
Okay.
know. Yeah, but I'll do some
Uh,
digging at
Okay.
BravoCon.
Yeah.
so
Okay.
one show that was amazing you were really involved in was Vanderpump Villa this last season. And then like I don't watch the Mormon Housewives, but like that blew up even on their show. Like it was one of the biggest pop culture moments of the year, probably with these.
Yeah,
So Vanderpump Villa, what was that like? Were you how involved were you in the casting and everything of that?
actually, because I came on literally, like I said, I got called 5 days before, and like literally came on just for production. So I flew to Italy as soon as we started shooting. Um, there was such a fun production because it's a huge production. Like, you know, sometimes these shows are like these docu-series shows, as we call them. They're like a couple of crews, you know, so a crew is like 10 people, and so there's like a couple crews. This was like 60 cameras and hundreds of crew members, and it's like in that huge villa. And we filmed 24/7. Um, it was such a fun project to work on. Obviously, it's my first time working with Lisa. We
Good
had such a great time.
location.
It was a great
Good
location. We're in
location.
Italy.
Yeah.
My hotel was like 30 minutes away from set, and so every day I would like drive through like the Italian countryside to get to work, and just like and then pull up to this like amazing castle.
Castle.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, which was awesome. But yeah, when the Mormon Wives thing was happening in real time, we were like shook. Like we're like these girls are married and they're you know they're mostly sober, all of them,
I
Yeah.
being
know.
Mormon, but they didn't need
Wild.
alcohol. They didn't need anything. Like, they
Yeah.
were wild. They were crazy, and
Wild.
like
Yeah.
yeah, it was nuts.
I think a reality TV star from that show was Hannah. She was like she was witty, she was funny, she was crazy, she didn't make sense sometimes, you know, all the things we love.
Why don't you talk about how you got into it? So you said you started as a PA, and then like how did you go from that to like producing all these shows?
You know, it was kind of random. I went to film school for a little bit. I was a kid actor.
Oh,
I grew
no
up in
way.
California, and I was a kid actor, and I was doing like commercials and theater and professional theater and stuff like that. And then I went to film school for a little bit after high school, thinking that like I wanted to work in scripted TV or film. And I got to film school and realized it was like all about like camera and lighting and all the stuff that I was like I didn't care about. I cared about like story and like the talent. And so I left film school, was working like at film production for a little bit, and then had been working in the entertainment industry in some facet since I was a kid. So I was like, I'm gonna try something else. And I actually started working in nonprofits. And I was working at a nonprofit here in LA, and then I got hired into uh, their nonprofit in New York. And so I moved to New York, was working in a nonprofit, and realizing that living in New York City, working at a nonprofit is
Not
not very
you
feasible.
can't do. Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
yeah. So I randomly just happened to be at a party, and I was talking to a guy, and we were just catching up about what we do, and he had told me he worked in reality TV, and to be honest, I was not like a reality TV person. I did not watch like I had at that point I hadn't watched like early Housewives or
Yeah.
anything. I think that like my only memory was like The Real World at the time.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so he was just telling me about reality TV, and I told him, oh, I had worked in production a little bit, and I went to film school for a little bit. And he's like, well, if you ever get sick of what you're doing right now, just why don't you come work for me? And I was like, actually, I'm sick of it. And so he's
Tell
like,
me
okay,
no
well, I'm
more.
starting. Yeah, he's like, I'm starting a show in Atlanta. It's a new show called Married to Medicine. This is the first season. You have to fly down to Atlanta, put yourself up, pay for yourself to get down there, and you can be a PA and just see if you like it. So I did. I flew to Atlanta, put myself up. It was a PA. My very first day on set, I got in a car wreck
Oh
and
no.
and totaled a production vehicle and thought, well, there went that
That's
career.
it.
This career is
Yeah.
over. Yeah. But luckily they kept me on, and I just fell in love with it. And the production company, they're called Purveyors of Pop. That was a production company that does Married to Medicine, and they were pretty early on in being a production company, and so they kind of kept me and just kind of like took me to different shows, took me to Real Housewives of Miami, and then brought me back to Married to Medicine. And then I had just like a full circle moment of like season 1 of Married to Medicine. I'd been a PA, and I came back season 7 as the showrunner. So like over 7 years.
Amazing. Good for
Yeah, it was really
you.
cool.
Good for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
I did got my makeup done not too long ago by the girl that does all the makeup for Married to Medicine, and she was telling me,
Oh,
so I was
cool.
asking her all the dirt. Yeah, I live in Atlanta. And so I was asking her all
Oh,
the,
nice.
the things, and yeah, and so she's like, she was telling me that it's like a really long day. Like it's not as like to get content, like you have to shoot like I mean I'm just guessing, but hours and hours and hours to get what like a little bit of content. So she said it's not as glamorous as you think it is behind the scenes.
Yeah, I mean
Is that true?
they're
Yeah.
long days.
Yeah.
For the crew, it's a 12 and a half hour day.
Wow. Yeah.
For
Wow.
5 days a week, usually 12 and a half hour days. So they're long days,
Yeah.
especially for
And
the
then,
crew.
and then everybody has some like I mean, you have a team of people going through all that footage to try and piece the storylines that you decide to go with together.
Yeah, there's like producers that are on set that are kind of tracking what story's happening, and they're logging it and they're making notes, and we're all together. We're kind of like following along with what's happening, and then we'll go back to an office and kind of piece together like what we captured and where we're going to go from here and what we want to cover in post and all that. So it's a
And
whole
then
team of people that
do you
yeah.
go back and try and narrate kind of like, can you do this? Or like, I know you're not supposed to tell us all the behind the scenes, but is it really real or is there a lot that's staged?
The number one question we always
Is
get.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all real. It's all based on the real life and what's happening. And like obviously it's sometimes it can be a truncated version because it's like we only have
Right.
so many months to film a show. But it's all based on what's happening in their lives. And so it's like they know like this is what we're covering and this is the story they're telling, and this is like they're gonna show up to this next dinner party and that's probably what they're gonna have to talk about. But never are we like, hey, say this or do
Right.
this or
Right.
it just
Like you,
it doesn't work out well for them or for you, because then it's like it's if it feels inauthentic or if it is inauthentic, then it's like it's pretty transparent, and the audiences are so much smarter now. Audiences have
yeah.
been watching reality TV for such a long time that
Yeah.
they catch on quick.
Yeah, like back in the day, I remember Kristen Cavallari was saying like that was also scripted, but I think you're like it's obviously evolved so much since then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
some of the other shows, and like Bravo specifically prides itself on not having
yeah,
that, but
okay,
like there have been shows like I do think that that some of those MTV shows back in the day, I think they were soft
Oh
scripted
yeah.
for sure.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
think maybe The Hills.
And you did
yeah.
some work with MTV, like on the challenge, or was
So
it?
I did a wedding special for CT from the challenge. So I did his wedding special, which is really fun.
He's hot, CT, with the Boston accent.
He's a fan fave. People
Yeah.
thought. And he was like, he's just like, he's authentically himself. He just,
Yeah,
he'll talk shit, he'll say what's on his mind, and he's like, at that point, like I was concerned that they weren't going to make it to the altar, so we're like behind the scenes, like, oh my god,
Oh
are they gonna
no.
make it? Yeah, it's crazy.
Just seal the deal. I'm gonna ask both of you
Yeah.
this. Who's the hottest husband on the Housewives? Keith, who do you think?
I'm trying to
Any
think
of them?
now.
None of them are that hot, I guess. If you had to pick
Oh,
one.
do you know who I think is Atlanta, Drew Sidora's ex-husband
Her
on
ex-husband, Ralph. Hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't even know who it
exactly.
is. Okay. All right, I'll give you
Yeah,
guys that one.
everyone always goes Mauricio, and I'm like, well, there's
No.
way hotter.
Juan Dixon.
Yeah.
Oh, Juan
Okay.
Dixon, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's the most like scandalous thing? You don't have to mention names that like maybe like you've caught on cameras and you're like, oh, like cut that, erase the footage, don't let anybody see her doing that in the bathroom or something like that.
That kind of stuff doesn't happen that often. Like, people are pretty smart. They know their mic. They've been doing it for a long time. So, like,
Yeah.
we're catching a lot of stuff. It's more so like conversations. You'll hear stuff, people talking about things that are happening in their personal life that maybe they didn't want on camera, but they were
Right.
trying to whisper, or they maybe they thought we weren't rolling yet. You've seen it on some shows, like where like I think I forget the exact scene, but something happened with like Portia and Phaedra on Atlanta, where the camera had been set down and was still rolling, and they were talking after a scene, and it just kept going, but like the camera caught what was happening.
Yeah.
So
Those
things like that are always,
like moments, I mean, are unreal because it's
yeah.
I love Phaedra, by the way. I met her at Sundance Film Festival a couple of years ago, and she was the nicest freaking person I've ever met. She took the time, like she's was like Phaedra, this big pink fur and just way over the top, and just the attitude. I love her. I love her.
I think I was there. I was there with her at Sundance.
Were you? Maybe we
year.
met.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went
Oh
to
my
like
gosh.
Meredith. We popped in the
Yes,
Meredith party.
Meredith's party. Yes. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, small world. Yeah.
So as the reality TV producer, if you had to do like an ultimate girls trip of the chumps, like to film, who would you choose?
Oh, that's such a good question. Well, obviously you got to do some like fan favorites. You got to do like Doug, of course.
Jeff's so mean to Doug. Like, I can't believe Doug goes back every day.
They're like brothers. They have a great like brother dynamic,
Yeah.
I think, to me, Jameson is hilarious. He's always hilarious. You got to throw in somebody like Joey, probably Reza, Cynthia and Crystal. I don't know. That like whenever the Trumps get together, it's always a party. There's like never a dull moment with this group of people.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
And I mean, never anything private because it's all aired out on the radio the next day.
Everything. Yeah. You have to know what you're signing up for.
Okay, what about if you had to do like a ultimate Southern Charm trip where the people from the Southern, because you worked Southern Charm Savannah?
So I did Southern Charm Savannah for one season. Yeah.
That was a great show, that crazy blonde girl.
Yeah, it was fun. That was a season that Lyle had proposed and that she said no.
Yeah.
And that was our finale. And that was shocking. That was
and they were like childhood sweethearts or something, those two. And yeah,
it was crazy.
Wow.
Do you think you'll ever do anything but reality TV? Do you ever want to go into more of a scripted fashion?
Yeah, I actually have some scripted projects that we're working on right now.
Cool.
So I have a couple of scripted things, and actually I was just talking about today about just kind of like exploring some different avenues. I mean, I love reality TV. I think I tell people that I think reality TV is way harder than scripted.
Really?
Because it's like, it's because it's real life and you're dealing with like changes by the minute. People, they say something that can change the trajectory of the entire show, and so it's like you're constantly thinking on the fly, and you're like, there's a lot of movement and a lot of like pivoting. Where scripted obviously is tough, and you're dealing with talent and you're dealing with big productions, but you know what you're going out to get. And you know
Right.
where you hope it's going to end. Where in reality, you have no clue where it's going to end.
Right.
Yeah.
They're kind of following along, and you have to make it make sense.
Yeah.
So if Bishop Peak Productions could do like your dream reality show about a celebrity who's kind of like untouched, whose story hasn't been told, who would be like your dream?
Oh God, I love documentaries. Like documentaries are my
Yeah.
thing, and I just want to I want to follow around Beyonce for a day and just see.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, she's so private, and I
She
just want
is.
to know how her life works. You know what I
Is
mean? I want
day
to
to
know
day.
from the moment she wakes up in the morning to like who's making her breakfast and who's taking care of her day and like where's she going, what's she doing. I want to know everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
because
a good one.
even Kris Jenner's 70th party, for some reason, like they snuck in like a different entrance to not be seen, and everyone else was going through the main entrance. Like they're just,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, they're so private, and I'm obviously part of the Beehive and such a big Beyonce fan. So I'm just like, I wish someday she would let me do a documentary.
And your Instagram is like VH1 Divas Live. Like you're always in Vegas at all these shows getting your picture with all these girls.
Yeah, I like to have fun. So I mainly like my Instagram is usually like work related stuff. I try to keep it to work related, and so it's like just like fun times having with cast members or going out or whatever
Yeah.
it may be. But
Follow Michael
yeah,
Beck, everybody. Go on his Insta.
yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
All
really
along,
good.
it's an adventure.
We like to have fun too.
And so what about if Bishop Peak Productions could have like a scripted series, who would be like your dream stars to get?
I feel like if we were doing like a Housewives scripted series, you'd want like a Jennifer Coolidge. I mean, like, can you imagine Jennifer Coolidge playing like a housewife? It would be incredible. I thought a lot about we thought a lot about like different like what does a housewife scripted series look like? What is more so in the vein of Real Housewives and less so in like Desperate Housewives, and so like more like comedy. But yeah, we thought a lot about like a Jennifer Coolidge. We have a project coming up that I can't talk about too much, but we have some fun Bravo adjacent talent.
Okay.
Okay.
For a scripted project.
So what should we be looking out for with your production company?
I have a bunch of stuff in development. We have some projects that are like in production right now. Again, I can't really say right now, but we have some really fun stuff coming up. And then in addition to that, I still have Vanderpump Rules coming out December 2nd. Southern Hospitality coming out in the spring.
Okay, I thought you were going to give me a date.
Spring. And then I'm working on another show that just started pre-production that I think is the worst kept secret in the world, but I can't say what it is, but most people know.
Okay, go to Reddit to find out, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I just ask one question? Like, how many shows are you getting pitched at? Like, people must pitch you ideas all the time. Like,
all the time.
Yeah, I'm
all
sure.
The time. I had to learn how to like let people down because I used to not be good at it. I'd be like, oh, that's a great idea, and let's see if we can do something with it. And now I'm at a point where it's like I just know that's probably not a great idea.
It's not going to work.
So not going to go anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You could kind of tell that quick.
Yeah. Now I can tell pretty quickly, just because like, I think you go everywhere and people like, oh, me and my friends, we are a reality show, or me and my family, we are a reality show. And it's like, just because you think you're a reality show doesn't mean you are. Because again, just because people live a crazy life, and there's a lot of drama in their life, that doesn't drama doesn't make a reality show necessarily. There's so much more to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, whatever it is, you've got it, because I mean, you're working on iconic shows. You've got like the biggest show ever coming out. It's premiering actually at BravoCon, right?
So we're showing a little bit of the first episode, at BravoCon, and then the full thing comes out December 2nd.
Okay.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wait,
I'm
that came quick, I feel.
Yeah, I'm excited
Thank
to hear
you.
what everyone thinks of it. So you have to let me know.
We will for
Absolutely. You
sure.
know I
Yeah.
will.
The audience
Okay,
will.
good.
Do you get involved with the reunions? Sorry, I have so many questions. I know. Like, are you there during reunion? Like, is it part? I guess it's part of the production, but it's like Andy's thing. Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, some reunions I'll be there. Some not. Depends on my availability and schedule, but some yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
and they're so fun. Reunions are they're a
I
long
they
day,
lo-
but they're such a fun day.
like lots of laughs, tears.
Lots of laughs, lots of tears, lots of chaos. You know.
Yeah. Who doesn't love
Fun.
Andy? It's Day with Andy.
Do you know
So,
Andy socially? Like, could you hang out with him? And
I don't hang out with him regularly, but I do know him. Have hung out with him.
of
See him
course, yeah.
obviously at work quite often.
Well, I'm sure glad like we got to meet you through Jeff Lewis live because you're
Thank
quite a
you.
character yourself, especially
Thank
like
you.
all you guys together. So I'm glad we get a little bit of this and also your brilliance behind the camera. So like, thank you for all your shows.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank
for
Thanks
your
you. I
so
work.
much.
appreciate it.
You're
Yeah, thank you for
so
having me.
amazing. Thanks for coming. Michael Beck, everyone follow him on all the socials, and we will be so excited to see Vanderpump Rules coming
Yeah.
out. I'm excited. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Right on. Thanks so much, Michael.